Nick, I mean, you've said this, been asked this so many different ways. I'll try one more time. You mentioned the backup quarterbacks need to improve, and obviously nothing's done yet, but has Greg done enough for you to tell him you're going to be the guy on September 5th?
Well, is that necessary to do right now? Is that going to help us win the game? That's my question to you, because you keep trying to ask it every time in a different way. And to me, it doesn't matter. I think everybody knows, you know, I watched the game today, that's been to practice every day, who our players have the most respect for, who has the best knowledge and experience, the guy that has shown with his consistency and performance that, you know, he's far and away, you know, our best quarterback right now. But, you know, we don't have a depth chart for anybody yet. All right, so, you know, you're just trying to, I mean, I think he knows that somebody's got to beat him out. And I think you know that. And I think that I know that. So I don't know why you need to keep asking me.
Oh, this is a different question.
Is it one that's been asked every week or every time?
No, it's
a different here. It's just original.
Semi-original. So. Obviously, your defensive line is pretty good. What do you think about the job your offensive line did, especially early on against those two scoring drives Greg seemed to have a hard time? How did your offensive line?
Well, I think they did a good job. You know, we gave up some big plays, and big plays, you know, changed field position. I wasn't crazy about the way we played on defense today. You know, to be honest with you, first defense can play better. They should have a higher expectation. I think there needs to be more discipline in guys doing what they're supposed to do. I think there's a few guys that think they are a little better than they are, and it changes their attitude about how they go about their work. And if we weren't out there in front of 80,000 people, I'd let them know that today. But they'll see it, and they'll find out soon enough. We got a meeting on Monday.
Coach Saban, James Carpenter won the most improved for spring. I wonder if you could comment on his improvement and then how he played today.
You know, I think he did a pretty good job today. I think James's biggest thing is he's showing an ability to do what we need him to do to be a functional left tackle for us in the SEC. The biggest thing is don't go rack trap under fire. All right? Stay disciplined to your technique. You know, set the right way. Get off the ball when you're supposed to. And I think a lot of that comes from a little bit of apprehension still of being sure about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, and all that stuff. And I think, you know, we need to continue to give him reps so that he can continue to develop. But he made a tremendous amount of improvement this spring, and it's going to be important that we have some other guys come a long way, you know, with him. But I do think that we're very pleased with the progress that he's made, but we also need him to continue to develop and improve between now and September 5th.
Coach, just kind of a general question. You've spoken often about trying to change the culture around the program a little bit, some of the expectations that the fans have and sort of expectations of future success based on past tradition, and you've spoken quite often about that. How do you feel, how would you rate your success in sort of changing people's attitudes a little bit or having them sort of look in the direction that you wanted to look around the program?
Well, everybody here has been extremely positive about what we're trying to accomplish, and I'm very pleased and proud of the program that we have. I don't think that people understand how much we do in terms of personal development with our players and the impact and effect it's had on their ability to be successful, not just as football players, but in school, as well as probably future success. You know, we've done a tremendous job here academically relative to our graduation rate. I think we have 15 out of 20 of our upcoming seniors are going to graduate by December. So there's a lot of positive things that go on here in the program, as well as the team improving in terms of their performance on the field. Now, but the biggest thing that we have to overcome here right now is, okay, nobody's pushing you off the cliff. All right, your back's not up against the wall. All right, you've proven that you can be a pretty decent football team. All right, what's your inspiration and motivation moving forward to continue to want to be successful and be as good as you can be? Just be good because of who you are. Because it's about, I want to be the best I can be. Like when LeBron James talks on 60 Minutes, I want that guy on my team. because it's important for him to be the best. When I hear Tiger Woods talk about you've never arrived, that's who I want to be on our team. But I want our fans to understand that when they don't have positive passion and energy for what we're trying to accomplish, then it affects everyone. And I think that last year's team was a great example of that. Okay, for 13 weeks we got great positive energy, passion about what we're doing. There's very little interest from our fans, our players, or anybody else to play in the Sugar Bowl, which to me is a tremendous opportunity. And I try to tell everyone, you know, you're only going to remember one thing about this game, and that's going to be the outcome of this game. All right, so there's no interest, there's no passion, and everybody's embarrassed because of how we played. Well, it's because you didn't have any passion for it, you didn't have any interest in it, you didn't have any enthusiasm to do it, and that's across the board. So, and that's not right. We go to a BCS bowl game, everybody ought to be positive and enthusiastic about what we're doing. And our fans have been great, but I think that comes from an expectation. But there should be an appreciation for what is accomplished and the work that the players do, and we should be supporting the program. And that's what everybody's done for the most part, and I've been very pleased and happy about that. But I think that's an example that everybody needs to look at, like that's a lesson we can learn from. You know, when you have adversity, you can quit, you can blame somebody else, or you can learn from it. And, you know, we choose to learn from those things, our players and everyone in the organization, and our fans are a part of that. But our fans have great passion, and what they showed us today by showing up and supporting the team, I think has a tremendous positive impact on the overall success of the program.
Last two, and then we'll get the players.
Yeah, Coach, there's been a lot of talk and interest about developing another receiver alongside Julio as a code number one or whatever. How do the tight ends figure that? You seem to have gotten the ball to them a lot more this spring.
Well, you know, we have some decent receivers at tight end. I think that our receiving core has made improvement, you know, this spring. I think Mike McCoy has made some improvement in his consistency. I think Hanks is a little better player than he was a year ago. I think Julio's a better player. I think we can use Julio more ways now because of his knowledge of the offense and moving him around, which can make him a more effective, productive player and a more difficult player to defend. I think Mays has, you know, stepped up and has a chance. You know, Earl Alexander did not, although he practiced, he didn't scrimmage much, but he made a lot of progress last year, and I think he can be a contributor. And I think we got some speed guys coming in and recruiting that hopefully somebody emerges. But rather than saying this guy has to come through, I think every one of those guys has to continue to work so they become a complete player at their position and can be consistent performers and play winning football all the way around. You know, explosive plays, toughness, blocking, knowledge, experience, timing with the quarterback, you know, all those things that make you an effective passing team.
Last one.
Coach, just how do you think Robbie Green fared out there in the role you had him in today?
He did okay. You know, he gave up a play by making a mental error in what he did and how he did it. But he also made some plays, and he has been a consistent playmaker throughout the spring, you know, in every scrimmage and a lot of times in practice. And he's a young player, and he's a bright guy. He doesn't have the experience that some of the other guys around him have, but I think those guys around him have been very supportive and helpful in his development.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, now, whoa. Where's the coaches of today's game?
The winners, Ian, Ken, Gentry.
Well, where's the losing guys at? They need to come up here and answer some questions about turning the ball, sack. Why didn't we play better? You know, how come we only scored 7 points? What happened to the defense on your team? I mean, you got all these good players, they didn't play very well. I mean, I think they need to come up here and I need to go back there and ask them some questions. Because I wasn't the coach today, you all were.
Any volunteers?
Is anybody going to write about that? All right, that's good, guys. Thanks. We appreciate your support and help all spring. Thank you.
Thank you all.